Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Okay, we'll call this meeting to order, the Jamestown City Council work session for Monday, October 20th to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Here.
Brackman. Here. Peternity.
Here.
Reynolds.
Present.
Faulkner.
Here.
Configlio.
Here.
Diversa.
Here.
Russell.
Here.
And President Schultz.
Here, thank you. At this time, we'll give an opportunity for anyone here that would like to address the council. If you'd like to address the city council this evening, please state your name and address and limit your remarks to 5 minutes. Anybody would like to address the council?
I thought you were giving me a stand on that. Oh, 212 Golden Street. This is a rough one, guys, because this is weird for me. I've been going door to door as poster kind of putting there. I'm not running for city council, so I'm a city champion. So I've been going door to door through the city, and I'm knocking on doors, talking to folks, getting signatures, like I'm sure you all went through. You know the process. Saturday was weird for me because initially I went for different reasons than what I ended up leaving with to the No Kings rally at Dow Park. You know, I'm not a fan of Trump. I've known him all my life. Heard him in the news, all that stuff. I don't know him personally, but anyway, that's a different story. I want to talk about Jamestown and the citizens. The citizens that I interacted with, the small group of citizens that I interacted with. I took 45 pictures. Those 45 pictures, I talked to each person because, you know, I didn't want to just flash pictures. I want to keep faces out and whatnot. And I would have to say maybe 28 of them were here from Jamestown that I spoke to and took pictures of their signs. And, you know, it turned into a crowd working session, I'm not going to lie. Started talking with them about the city and, you know, how they felt about things here in the city, you know. And it really seemed like the overwhelming thing was fear. My fellow citizens out here seem to be afraid to do anything. They're afraid to come here to address you folks because they see the posts some of you make online about not being able to do anything and it not being your fault. They hear about the things that happen with the police from their neighbors and they don't feel comfortable with that. And I mean, man, it's interesting because also, I also got told I was the problem in my neighborhood recently. Me, when he comes here, wants to see things cleaned up, wants to see better police response. And it's funny because I think over the last 2 weeks, there's been maybe 3 police officers on Fulton Street that I've noticed. One doing a drive-through patrol, one serving a subpoena to someone, and one pulling somebody over, which was awesome, by the way. Y'all took a lot of drugs and a few guns off the streets the other day right in front of my house. That was great. Really appreciate that. So does the neighborhood. But yeah, our citizens, look, I asked at least 5 people who showed interest in the city council meetings and what I'm doing here. I told them tonight was a meeting. Where are they? They're afraid to come. They don't think you folks are going to do anything. Okay. Is there any kind of update on the court order since you've just come into the room? Any updates on the court order question about maybe getting us permission to go into some of these condemned properties and clean up the trash that's on the outside? I know I was told it was a possibility a few weeks ago. I gave it a few weeks and I'm trying to hear something back. Anyone?
No, we have not gotten a court order.
Is there still a possibility? I mean, I've got at least 6 folks on my block alone who want to clean up the trash. I told them that there's a possibility, they're excited about it. What do I need to do, drag these people in here? I mean, that's illegal, but come on.
So you can clean up trash any place along the right of way. You cannot enter a house.
We don't want to enter the house. We want to clean up all the trash that's on the outside of the properties that these absentee landlords won't take care of. And I was told here in the city council meeting that it is possible. You mentioned a court order. Can we look into that, please? You've got citizens coming here looking to volunteer their time.
It's not as simple as just getting a court order though. So
I
you
know,
have
that's why I
several
waited
different
3
property
weeks.
owners. And the judge, in order to grant a court order, because if those properties are occupied, and I don't know if they are, because I don't know which specific properties you're talking about,
Every one
but.
of the condemned ones that has a pile of trash.
So
around.
those are all going to get cleaned up, everything that is there will be nothing left, there will be no garbage, nothing. So once those, start to come down, and the debris is removed, all of that garbage and debris will be taken away with it.
So Mr. Dulce, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's okay.
It seems like a question you asked me today when you pulled up in front of my house would be more appropriately posed to the Department of Development. What happened with some of the demolitions that I personally overheard conversation about between BPU and the development company about showing up Friday, BPU showed up, the guy didn't. You asked me earlier what's going on with the development, with the demolitions on the street.
No, I drove by just because I wanted to say, I know they were coming soon, and I know they had been there, so I wanted to see if the trucks were there yet. I know they had
I
us.
misinterpreted your question, but question still stands, and what, you keep telling me it's time, we're waiting.
So there's several different phases that go with the demolition. So there's asbestos surveys that have to be done,
Mhm.
then there's mitigation of asbestos if asbestos is found, which there almost always is.
Specifically on the property that I'm mentioning, the asbestos abatement has already been done, the guy was there 2 days, 2 hours each day,
Okay.
I believe, and it's already been cleared, like I said, BPU.
Okay, but then you have to, so with every single phase of each item that has to be done,
Mhm.
it has to be put out to bid for about 2 weeks. So you have to allow 2 weeks in between, at least 2 weeks in between each phase. You also have to allow for contractor availability. You also have to understand that. contractors that- Do you want me to finish talking, or are you gonna talk over me?
You're telling me things that I've already heard here.
Okay,
many
so
times. I'm looking for a different answer, an actual answer.
I wish I could give you an answer that you want. It is going to happen. It is already on the docket. I just received today an email that from our demolition contractor that bids have gone out for 3 of those properties for the actual demolitions.
Mhm.
And so now they have to wait for those bids to come back. And then they will select the demolition contractor that has the best price, and they will take timeline into consideration. So they know that that's the higher priority, and that is what will determine when those come down. But you have to wait the couple of weeks for them to get the responses back.
I've been there 4 years, we've been waiting at least that long, I'm just saying, it's kinda tiring here, and you gotta wait when you have people there willing to do it.
You're
That's-
talking about demolitions though, that's
No,
not
I'm not
something
talking about
that,
demolition. I'm talking about
people can do.
cleanup. I'm talking about cleaning up the garbage, getting rid of the vermin, getting rid of the temptation for the homeless folks to come in there and take scraps so they have their drug money. This is what I'm talking about, this is what I come here, every time I come here, I talk about
So I
these
would
things.
suggest, if you would like to, organize a neighborhood cleanup and go from house to house and property to property and do a cleanup.
And then I'm committing the same crime that I call for people to commit. I'm going onto a property and trespassing. Because
But
I'm
you
being
want
told-
us to do that.
No, I'm being told a court order is a possibility.
So what
If
I'm
that's
trying
not
to
a possibility
explain
for
is it's
you,
a
can the
possibility.
person who can answer that maybe speak? Because he's the one that mentioned it.
So he just said it, but I need to explain something. When it comes to trespassing on people's property, if there are several different property owners, that's several different court orders for different people.
Mhm.
If those properties are occupied, that is a whole other ballgame, because people can say, I might have 6 bags of garbage on my porch, but you can't take it, because it's my property.
And again, I'm not
And a
talking
judge
about
will not
occupied
grant an
homes.
order.
I'm talking about the homes that have condemned or not to be occupied signs on them.
So we can go round and round, but this is the update that I have.
Okay, and again,
And-
it's the same, non-update, but thank you.
Thank you.
I understand why folks don't wanna come here, I really do, but I'm gonna keep coming, because you guys are not gonna keep telling me there's nothing you can do.
There is
I don't think
something
that anybody
we're
said that
doing
there's
here.
nothing that we can do.
We have to follow the
I
procedures.
don't mean you specifically.
There are rules and
I know
regulations that
you're
are in
that
place
person,
that
I'm
we
sorry.
have to follow.
I don't mean you specifically, I really meant more as an indirect comment to the individuals who know who they are, who say that there's nothing they can do online.
Okay, thank you. Next, anybody else?
My name is Douglas Beardsley. I live at 40 Bridge Avenue in Jamestown. Graduated from Joe. And I have a question. I see in the Post Journal where the property taxes are probably going to be increasing next year like everything else. Does the city look at the taxes help build the tax base up more. I mean, I'm not familiar at all with anything like taxes, you know, exempt property and all that stuff, but I mean, we have like the common center that's nationally known, and $30 admission fee to get into it, and we have the ice arena down there, we have the Resume Civic Center that it sells alcohol and charges admission for its events, and I was just wondering if the city, on a regular basis, looks at tax exempt property to find out, hey, wait a minute, you know, you don't meet the criteria, or.
We don't control, that's a state thing. They apply for 501c3, which makes them non-for-profit. And so the city doesn't have the authority to decide what property or what business or what agency is tax exempt. That's a state. Anybody wanna jump in?
Well, also, Tony, some of them make payment in lieu of tax.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so there is some revenue coming in from those businesses, such as maybe the Resource Center,
Right.
and others.
Resource Center, Lutheran, Code does pay some on their properties, and there are several churches and smaller groups that do put money into that. But again, the city doesn't have any control over what's tax exempt and what's not tax exempt.
Okay, I just wasn't sure, so
Yep.
I figured I'd throw that out.
Nope, good question though, thank you.
And our assessor has reviewed that this year when she first came in, she looked at every property that was tax exempt and, you know, checked whether or not they had 501c3 status.
I'm too glad you decided.
Yep, no, that's a good, thank you for bringing that up. That's a question that comes up a lot to us, and we have very little or no control over. If someone puts in and applies to be a tax exempt property, they have to meet criteria. They have to be approved by the state of New York. It's what's called 501c3 is the code in the state tax law that determines whether or not they are, whether tax exempt, YMCA, YWCA, Boys and Girls Club, any of the agencies, churches, things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else?
Well, I have no specific political thing to talk about.
Your name?
Name?
Julius Rand Peters. I'm living in JCC in 525 South Corner Street. I'm here as a German youth ambassador studying at the JCC American Politics, and I'm here to get more insight into American politics, mainly regional politics.
So you get to come all the fun and excitement, you get to see it in action. That's good. If you have any questions, you know, just feel free to stick around and ask questions. We can talk to you if you want. Great, thank you. Welcome. I don't see anybody else. Observing, all right. We will move on to our standing committee. Since we had the budget presentations earlier, we didn't have specific committee meetings, so we'll go through those in whole altogether. So I don't know if there's anything under housing you wanted to, or anything.
No, we didn't meet, of course, but no carryover other than having the updated demolition list, before us last week, or 2 weeks ago. Right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, which I did share with everyone.
Right, thank you.
And it's, again, not much different than it was previously. They're still working through them.
I do want to add, I did go down to Fulton Street today,
Yeah.
because I know there have been demolitions going on. I know there was one on Cross Street last week. I think there was another one in that area. And I
We
did,
went across.
I did see equipment in that area, so I was kind of, and I know they have been preparing
Mhm.
to do the demolition, so I went down to see if they were there. They were not there today, but the utilities have been marked, so it looks like it's, you know, getting close. And I did see Mr. Wolf out on the porch, and I had a nice conversation with him, so I really don't know why he's all cleared up tonight, but.
I have a question for Crystal, you may or may not be able to answer it. The tax sale houses in Jamestown, have whoever's won the bid on them been identified?
Not yet.
Okay, I have a gentleman, constituent on my street, Pershing Avenue, who's claiming that the winning bidder of the property that he occupies is, not really harassing him, but calling him and telling him, I've called you, I'm gonna take legal action.
He should call,
That's what I'm getting at.
I would
Where do
say
we need to
so
direct him?
he should call probably the county's real property tax office, because no one should be accessing properties that they do not yet have title to. He would, you know, that bidder would need to be able to prove that they are now the rightful owner of the
He
property.
has a name and all, but it
Okay.
sounds like an LLC again.
Sure, I'm sure. But, yeah, they should not have, unless that LLC or that individual that's harassing the tenant has any sort of proof, that they actually own the property, they shouldn't even be able to access the property yet. And then the other, recommendation I would have would be to call Law New York, and just make sure that, you know, he lets them know what's going on, and they can advise him as to what his rights are.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for housing? If not, we'll move on to finance. Brent?
Thank you. President, we have like 9 resolutions here. First is, updating our permit fees for services and regulatory oversight. This is building permits, permits for pools, demolitions, encroachments. These have not gone up in a number of years. We went over them and it's recommended a 10 to 20% increase for all these different permits. It's attached to the staff report. Any questions on those?
Those across the board?
For the most part,
Okay.
yep,
Either 10 or 20%, depending on what the
Yep.
item was. And it says that they don't know the fiscal impact of it, but definitely is gonna raise more revenue, which is what we need.
well, and hopefully actually cover some of the costs of doing business.
Questions? Motion approved. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Is, supporting, county executive E.J. Wendell's proposal to establish a government efficiency fund to aid local governments in pursuing shared services and special reform initiatives. He's budgeted $500,000 toward this, and this is excellent, use of county money to help localities or locales, combine services and save money.
That seed money was $500,000?
I think that's what it was. It was in the back.
Right.
Yes.
Any questions? Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is, this is for the downtown, DRI, yeah, downtown revitalization initiative, to apply for up to $10 million, I believe.
Mhm.
That's going back. We're looking at 3 different things, especially in the Brooklyn Square area, in the riverfront area, and other downtown businesses. City of Olean just had a big celebration of everything they've done with their last round of funding. Been what, 10 years since we did it?
Yep, we were in the very first round,
Very first round? So we are
now it's time again.
able to apply for this again. That's, we needed money to help our city here. Any questions on that? Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is, authorizing the mayor to execute a quick claim deed for small corner lot at Winter Street. From the city of Jamestown to Jamestown Urban Development Agency for purpose of sale for business. That is the vertical growing business that, working in the building on the corner of Windsor and Allen. Sale price is, Ramsey Agriculture
Mhm.
is $3,000.
Same as the assessment.
They've bought off some other parcels there, or going to be buying some other parcels, so they have control of that area. Questions on that?
So moved.
Favor?
Aye.
Next is, authorizing the city comptroller to make the following amendment to the 2025 general fund budget for the purpose of appropriating funds for the purchase of critical computer equipment for a total not to exceed $60,643.02. Police computer equipment, office equipment for the police, IT computer equipment, engineering, DPW, the mayor's office, corporation counsel's office, fleet computer equipment, assistant computers, parking enforcement computer equipment, Wi-Fi access points. We haven't spent much from contingency, but $24,000 approximately. Less than that.
We spent 2 projects, I think, was it 10 for Bergman, and then 22 for, the ramp? Wasn't it there was something with one of the ramps?
Oh,
So-
yes, yes, like a heating unit.
Yeah, something like that, so,
Oh, the elevator unit?
Yeah. so,
So, yeah, we had roughly $350,000 for some contingency, and that's held the line on that pretty well, and opposed to budgeting for this next year,
mhm.
we will use our contingency money this year to buy these.
The police computer equipment, what does that include? Is that for cars?
Well, oh, sorry, do you have the list?
I don't.
Oh, plotter, license scanners, computers, mini computers, replacement dock and computer for J4, replacement copier. I think that's what's on the list.
Any other questions?
So moved.
Favor?
Aye. And again, we've done this in the past where we get to the end of, rather than budget these particular items for next year, we use some leftover money from the contingency fund, we still have some. Has the rest of that money been allocated at all, or been asked for?
No, I think it's around it's over 200.
It's gotta be,
230.
yeah,
I
at least
think.
that, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Something to keep in mind.
From that, going to general fund for next year.
A lot of times we use that for over and under,
Yeah, over.
or to put towards next year's budget, or any other pieces of equipment at the end of the year, so. It's a good use of the money so that we don't have to budget it until 2026.
Next, resolve that the crime analyst Holly Cotta will be authorized to attend the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services Crime Analyst Academy. They held at the DCJS Alfred E. Smith Building in Albany, New York, from November 2nd to November 8th, 2025, with expenses paid by the New York State Division of Criminal Justice's gift and strike rates. Any questions on that? Motion approved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Next, resolve, the comptroller is authorized to make the following amendment to the 2025 general fund budget for the purpose of appropriating funds towards the replacement of the topsoil storage facility in the North Street for a total not to exceed $35,000 in North States. Pretty much contains as well. Mark, is that the location where the new facility is gonna go?
No, we're gonna go somewhere else, because that area is close to where there's wetlands, so we're gonna stay away from any of that area. As far as putting,
It's on by the yardway something?
yeah, it's on that same road.
So moved.
Favor?
Aye.
Next, suspending the hiring freeze and hiring one laborer in the Department of Public Works Street Division, whose position is vacant as a result of a retirement. Questions on that?
So moved.
Favor?
Aye.
Another one, Public Works Street Division laborer, this is also due to a retirement in December.
So moved. Aye.
Erica, do you have anything else for us?
She's done enough today.
done.
No good news?
Had enough today. All right, move on to public safety. Jeff?
Thank you, Mr. President. We had, two resolutions the same that were on, the finance agenda. The first was for the city comptroller. She hereby is authorized to make the following amendments to the 2025 general fund budget for the purpose of appropriating funds towards the purchase of critical computer equipment for a total not to exceed $60,643. You can see the breakdown before you, like Brent went through. So if there's no questions on that,
Move to approve.
second. All in favor? Opposed? Carries. The next one is also on the finance agenda for crime analyst Holly Cotta being hereby is authorized to attend the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services Crime Analyst Academy to be held at DCJS Alfred E. Smith Building, Albany, New York, from November 2nd through November 8th, with expenses paid by the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services GID and STRIVE grants. There's no questions on that, so we have a motion. Second. All in favor? Opposed? Carries. And then, with some, ordinance and a local law, ordinance updating the central business district parking permit fee. It's gonna be raised from $300 to $600. The background on that is the city code provides for a parking permit for businesses located within the central business district. These permits are for businesses that make deliveries or pickups or service calls. This permit allows the individual to come and go within the district without being ticketed for an overtime in-zone violation. The cost to park in the city's parking ramps is $50 per month. This adjustment would bring the cost of the permit equal to the cost of utilizing the ramp, so from $300 to $600.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Carries. And then we had a local law, 2 of 2025, updating the code enforcement program. And that's an item up for discussion. If Crystal wants to comment on that.
Sure. So we were notified by Department of State, in the spring, I think it was, that we needed to update our, city code, our charter, to include, language that, incorporates code enforcement into, the charter, and they gave us some specific items that needed to get added. So we've done that, we've, looked at how that fits in with our code, and, in your packets, the highlighted areas are kind of the things that were added. So if there's anything specific that you have questions on, it's pretty much, it's a change, it's a local law change, so we do have to do a 30-day public comment period, which that did actually start on October 6th. We are looking to have it voted on by the 27th, but we will obviously keep public comment open for that full 30 days before we send anything to DOS, letting them know that we have completed that update.
Do we have to have a public hearing on that too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to schedule a public hearing, and without a message of necessity from her, it'll have to age for 30 days, so it won't be voted.
Oh, so we
This
won't be able
month.
to do it until
It would be.
November? Okay.
And we just need it to be, I think it's still a discussion item because it's not quite in its final form.
Yeah, we are still
so-
waiting for some review, by Elliot's office, just to make sure that we've got everything, all our Ts crossed and Is dotted.
So that will sit, and the next thing was, establishing the 2025 trick-or-treating hours in the city of Jamestown. will be from 6 PM until 8 PM on October 31st, 2025. Questions, comments, concerns? Need a motion? All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Yep. That's it? Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to remind everybody that our rabies clinic is coming up, and there's still quite a few slots available, so if you can help get the word out to your constituents, that they can go right online to the county's website and register that way, but it'll be November 1st, down at the Harrison Training Center. From 10 to noon, and Brett will be there to help.
Filling syringes.
Perfect. I'll be catching the dogs.
You're cleaning up after the dog.
That's right,
Yeah.
that too. Thank you.
Is that it? Okay, we'll move on. Randy, Public Works?
Thank you, Mr. President. We had three resolutions that are also covered in finance. And the one would be the topsoil storage facility for $35,000. Any questions or any comments from the committee?
That was falling down 10 years ago. It was a disaster, so that's
Overdue.
way overdue.
Yeah, okay, motion to approve?
So
Okay, approve that. The next two are basically the same, and that is to lift the hiring freeze for a position for labor in the Public Works Streets Division. Do I have a motion to approve on that? Okay. That's so passed. And the other one is same thing, another position, we're looking to lift the hiring freeze and suspend the hiring freeze, I meant to say. And that is another laborer position in the Public Works Street Division also.
that's from a retirement, correct?
Yes. that
Yeah,
one's retired.
that's right. There's one retirement in the end of October and then another in the beginning of December.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, motion to approve.
Motion to move.
Okay, so passed. That's all we have.
I just had a quick question, maybe for Mark. I know Randy and I have talked about it. I had a constituent reach out to me who lives over on Euclid. He has a section of blacktop.
It's already taken care
Already done. Okay.
of. Well, it's not taken care of, but it's been taken care of.
All right.
It's in the works.
Okay, well, then you can answer my question. Is he allowed to put concrete back there?
If
He wants to tear the blacktop out, the tree is gone.
Yes.
He wants to put concrete in there.
So,
The only reason the blacktop is there is because of the tree.
There
That's
was
the
a
reason.
tree.
Yes.
so what happened was there was a tree there, they put
Right.
blacktop in. When they
Sure.
took the tree out, there's still a chunk of the stump that's sticking up.
Right, I
And
went
it's-
over there.
And you saw, it's got a hole, so I took a picture of it, I sent it to Mark and to Dan. They're gonna, at this point, they were looking toward, he's gonna have it taken completely out and then patched in for now, but, and at this point of the year, I don't know if he's gonna be able to get it, you know.
Because he said he wanted all concrete. put in.
Eventually, and I told him that, I mean, that's something, I don't know if he can get that done before the end of this year, but
Right.
into next year, but in the meantime, just to make it more, to make it safer and smoother, take out the rest of the stump, patch the hole, and at least get it set for now, for the fall until the next spring.
And if he wants eventually that all to be tore out and concrete put in there, that's at his expense, correct?
That's right.
His expense with
With the
his,
when the
with the-
reimbursement is what?
$3 a square foot.
We changed that, didn't we, to 6?
That was only temporary. That-
6 was only temporary.
Yeah, that was ARPA funded program, that was 6 for a little while.
So it's back down to 3 again.
Council changed it from $1 to 3
Right.
a few years ago.
Right, I
Yeah.
know we changed that,
Yeah.
so it's at 3 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's good though, we're good, we got it. Anything else? The mayor's not here, obviously. Just one thing I wanted to mention, announcement on the event this Saturday, it's the Trick or Trunk, right? That's what it's called?
Oh, on the Riverwalk?
On the River
Yeah.
Walk, I think it's called the Trick or
Trick or
Treat.
Treat Trail.
Trick or Treat Trail, whatever they call it. That's 5 to 7, I believe, or 6 to 8, 5 to 7? 5 to 7. So, Dan Stone has asked me if the council, if you guys are going, if you want a table. I know you usually go with,
With the Riverfront Management Council.
right, we could have our own special table, or you can latch on with someone else, or if you're gonna go, you wanna wear costumes, or you just wanna go. So, let me know if you want us to put a table up for us, or you just wanna participate in your own group, or just show up and meander around, or whatever. But yeah, that, for the public, again, we've had great turnouts, hopefully the weather will be good. It's this Saturday, the 25th, 5 to 7 on the Riverwalk, down behind the DPU along Anzarola Island, around the, where the bridges are, so, right?
Both sides of the river.
Both sides, you come in,
Yep.
check in, and we've had, what, a couple thousand kids there in the past. I haven't checked the weather, but it looks like it's gonna be okay. I don't think it's supposed to be just a normal Halloween weather, so.
Cool.
Is there anything else? Do we have any need for an executive session, Elliot?
No.
No. Okay, that, meeting adjourned.